Good morning. This is Ron Mickens. Fraud upon the court. You know the topic. The truth is in the details. You got to remember, the only thing that you can get from a lie is another lie. So stay with me. Stay with me. The cure for lies is the truth. We're going to start with the Federal District Court. Federal District Court Judge Lazara and the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. These courts, these federal courts, they shockingly, outrageously, maliciously, intentionally, pretextually, willfully, negligently, they adopted Judge Moore, Jerry Hill, the second DCA, Judge Constein, and Judge Alcott's fake, frivolous, fraudulent judgments and orders. They had absolutely no justiciable questions or merits. The Federal District Court Judge Lazara and the 11th Circuit Court of Appeal, they fraudulently misrepresented that Ron and Gloria Mickens temporarily transferred our property to Damron Construction Company. This is in what? Direct contradiction to the trial judge. Judge Strickland found that Damron Construction Company fraudulently misrepresented the nature of a quitclaim deed, committed fraud in inducement, fraud in the execution of the deed, fraud in the formation and the performance of the construction contract, fraud in obtaining and maintaining a claim to fee simple title to our property. That's fraud, okay? You got to remember, Jerry Hill refused to do his job. And Judge Strickland's findings on the merits of our 5 claims is protected by the due process doctrines of res judicata collateral estoppel / claim preclusion issue preclusion, meaning that these claims and issues cannot be relitigated. They are the law of the case. They are the law of the case. This is what? In direct contradiction to the trial judge. The federal court fraudulently misrepresented that Stewart Title Guaranty Company, Stewart Title of Polk, Canady, Rewis, and Harman-Highsmith was responsible for making the deed to transfer our property. This is in direct contradiction to the trial judge. We don't know these people. We never heard of them. How can they be responsible for transferring our property without our knowledge or consent? You see the fraudulent misrepresentation by the federal district courts. Okay. The federal courts fraudulently misrepresented that these events led to 3 state court proceedings in which the state court ruled against the Mickens, including one in which the property was foreclosed upon. Okay, they say 3 state court proceedings. This is they adopting Judge Constein fraudulent severance or fraudulent separation of the case, of this one case. There were 3 lawsuits, but Judge Durrance, Judge Prince, Judge Strickland, and Judge Auniclair had all concluded that this was one case based on the same operative facts. That Damron had been named in all 3 lawsuits, and that fraud had been alleged in all 3 lawsuits. That they were what? Interrelated, they were interconnected, intertwined, integrated, inextricably tied together. But Judge Constein going to commit fraud and unsever or unseparate a case that's unseparable. That is fraud upon the court. Now, let's talk a little bit about the foreclosure. Oh my goodness. A foreclosure against Ron and Gloria Mickens. Stewart Title Guaranty Company is not a bona fide purchaser. They paid off the mortgage with, the invalid mortgage with insurance proceeds for total title failure. That's an admission of their fraud. They had what? Unclean hands. And then they dropped their fraudulent, frivolous, fake foreclosure action against their co-conspirator, the Damron, in exchange for Damron passing them a fraudulent special warranty deed. But then the court judge comes to enter a fraudulent, fake, frivolous foreclosure judgment against Ron and Gloria Mickens. Got the entire clerk of the court conducting a fraudulent and faking a fraudulent foreclosure action. So you gotta what? You just gotta stay with me, okay? The federal courts knew 100% from day one that all of this was fraud. So you got to stay with me. I'm going to talk about this trick. This trick is called a non sequitur. All the judges, all real estate lawyers, probably all lawyers in the entire country, and all politicians, experienced politicians majorly in this country, knows that Judge Moore fraudulent misrepresentation and judgment of rescission was a non sequitur. Non sequitur means it does not follow. It does not come after. When an action or decree is non sequitur, it is unrelated to the preceding event. Let me say that. It is unrelated to the preceding event. A non sequitur is something that has no logical or temporal purpose for its place in the progression of events. Okay, this is master fraud. Like I said, Judge Moore used this master fraud, this professional fraud. This is a non sequitur. Let me kind of explain. What was supposed to happen was Judge Strickland signing his final judgment on our counterclaim. Okay, that's what was supposed to come next. And then in 455 and 1152 case, we were required to join all the other indispensable and necessary parties. They were indispensable. We were the plaintiff. And we did the same thing in the 2977 case when we joined. Hope you can see, you get a glimpse of it. Well, we joined as the plaintiff. All the necessary parties and all of our claims. Now our claims is up to 27 claims. But she's using this non sequitur to deprive us of 27 claims in exchange for one claim where we got to pay the losing party. They're trying to trick us into giving our consent to permit or authorize them to do this. Let me share a little bit more information about what a non sequitur is. Okay. It makes dishonesty seem honest. Harm seem helpful, bad seem good, and vice versa. It makes the innocent appear bad, and it makes the guilty appear to be innocent. Honesty means absolutely nothing to State Attorney Jerry Hood, Jerry Hill, these judges, and the opposing attorney. Well, also my attorney too, because he's got to play along with the conspiracy also. These judges create these illusions that they care about people, that they protect people, and that they are in the business of saving lives, saving the lives of others. And they appear as compassionate benefactors of, of mankind, onto people. But it's just an illusion. So you gotta stay with me and make no mistake about it. All politicians use non sequiturs. All of their public statements are dishonest. Their careers and things, they really don't benefit society. Okay, all of their false promises and lies, the only thing that they do is just damage society. So what? It's time for a change. It's time for us to learn how the master's lies. This plan's been around for hundreds, thousands of years of how they lie. These are master, professional liars. That's what Judge Moore is. And if you just stay with me, I'm demonstrating it to you now as we go along. Because when Jerry Hill, remember, he started off, Jerry Hill sent Don Vale over to Stewart Title Guaranty Company, okay, to so-called investigate. Miss Canady, let me make sure you understand what I'm saying. Miss Canady confessed to false witnessing and false notarization, false executing a deed. That goes to criminal acts, which led to her fraudulently conveying our property, fraudulently encumbering our property, fraudulently slandering our property, organized fraud, building houses under false pretenses. And then to what Jerry Hill, he omitted to Ms. Rewis. Ms. Rewis false witness the deed. So make sure you understand this. From day one, they knew Ms. Canady had confessed, had pleaded guilty. There were no basis for a trial. We were entitled to a judgment as a matter of law based on our pleading. Okay? When somebody confessed to their guilt, he couldn't do anything but march her off to jail. So you gotta hang in there with me. You gotta understand that every lawyer, every judge in this country knew this from the very beginning. It's common folks like you and I that didn't get it from the very beginning, okay? But you watch these lawyers do this law in motion walls. That's what you call it. They just faking. They just depriving us of our financial resources, and they are using the judicial system to deprive us of our name, our reputation, 27 claims, causes of action that pays us damages. They're depriving us of me in particular, my employment. They're destroying us by what? Using a non sequitur to destroy us and trying to trick us into giving them authority or permission to do so. The federal district court judges knew, like they knew the back of their hand, that Miss Canady had false witness that deed. They knew we were entitled to a judgment as a matter of law from day one. But Jerry Hill is the one that started off by enabling Stewart Title Guaranty Company / the Damron to file that preempted strike as if they were a plaintiff. Because they knew if we filed as a plaintiff, we was entitled to a judgment as a matter of law against them all. You got to remember this non sequitur. Judge Moore entered here in the record here. This is a total obstruction of justice. It does not follow. It does not follow. It has nothing to do with what we have been to trial and litigated and won and prevailed on. This is outside. Judge Moore is outside the law. Nobody saw this. This is fraud on the court. This is without jurisdiction. I hope you can see this trick. because we got to learn something about how they use non-sequiturs. They master. They're professional liars. Okay, Judge Lazaro, the 11th Circuit, looked at 2 federal complaints. They knew like the back of our hand that we went down to a judgment just based on the face of our pleas. We were also entitled to a judgment based on Judge Strickland's findings of facts and conclusions of law, based on the merits of our fraud, cancellation of deed, quiet title, ejectment, and breach of contract claims and causes of action. We got a judgment for fraud against them all. But ladies and gentlemen, none of this litigation was required or necessary because Mrs. Canady, she confessed. She confessed her guilt from the very beginning. But Jerry here, I hope you can see it, he started the cover-up. They used the judicial system to destroy us. Okay? They have set up all of these fraudulent misrepresentations, these fraudulent orders and judgment that Judge Constein entered, and now you got the federal district court and the 11th Circuit just piling it on. This is a setup. This is a setup to lock us up or to kill us or to murder us. And for first responders to have justification for doing it. So you got to see the point. You got to see the point. Okay, I got a quote. I got a quote that I want to share with you. So stay with me, because this is what we got to do. This quote says, "The cure for lies is the truth. The truth rests with and is bestowed upon the people, not government. The people empowers the government, not the other way around. When the government goes against the will of the people and starts to subjugate any of its people summarily and arbitrarily, then the people must reject and expose the government for its fraudulent, frivolous, fake, unconstitutional acts." Okay? What I'm telling you, this is what? Treason against the Constitution. This is warring against the Constitution. This is interference with interstate commerce. This is violation of their constitutional oath. This is what? Obstruction of justice from the very beginning. Make sure you understand that Jerry here knew like the back of his hand. His investigators knew like the back of their hand that there were no ground for any litigation or any trial, because Mrs. Canady confessed from the very beginning. And clearly you can see where the judge, these people are experts in the law. Okay? But they practice dishonesty because they are certain that we cannot see through their illusions. Okay? And I'm going to just tell you a little example of a non-sequitur being used. When I was in federal court with the school board, and my attorney was giving closing arguments, instead of him laying out the facts showing where I had proved a particular disability claim, he's gifted to giving a speech about Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. Okay? This is a perfect example of him not really following through. Okay? These are good sounding speeches. Okay? But they're not addressing the issues. You got to hang in there with you, because I'm going to be back and I'm going to give you some more examples in the future of how they manipulate us with these non-sequiturs. So stay with me. You got to what? You got to subscribe. You got to share. Okay? I'm going to see you real soon. But in the meantime, in the words of Anna B. Wells, the way to correct wrongs is to shine the light of truth upon them. So stay with me because, hey, it's coming. I'm going to break it down for you. If you got any questions, just give me a call. 863-603-3073. Okay? This is reality. This is reality. This is not fiction. What I'm telling you, everything that they did was based on fictional illusions, all lies. So I will see you the next time.